guys, the What Are We Doing podcast.
Oh, boy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. You guys know what I'm about to say, don't you? Yeah, you do. Oh, yeah. I know. You heard the news too, huh? I mean, the news, it's upsetting. Everybody in the house is pretty much in tears. Paul and his wife are home with each other. The news today coming out. I mean, listen, a lot of people are going to be hurt by this. A lot of people are not going to know how to handle it. A lot of people are probably going to sign up for therapy, like betterhelp.com, reach out, sponsor us too. You know what I mean? Everyone else on the planet. So after this news, once you're done processing it, if you need time, to talk or someone to talk to, like just, let's talk it out in the comments. If you need someone to talk to, we're your friends here at the Wad Pod to process the most upsetting news of a Friday that anyone, is it raining outside? It should be raining with this unfortunate news. Pitch Perfect bumper in Berlin has been canceled at Peacock despite the fact that the show was previously renewed for a second season. The spinoff of the Pitch Perfect film franchise originally debuted on Peacock in November of 2022 and was renewed in January of 2023 for season 2. According to an individual with knowledge of the situation, the decision was made to cancel the series as the ongoing strikes in Hollywood meant the production was not able to begin as originally scheduled. The series saw Adam Devine return as Bumper Allen as he moves to Germany to revive his music career when one of his songs becomes big in Berlin. Along with Devine, the cast from season 1 included Flua Borg, Sarah Hyland, Lara Abduva, and Jamila Jamil. Well, that's a mouthful. Per NBCU, the series scored the biggest comedy premiere in Peacock history, and it was watched by more accounts in its launch weekend than any other Peacock original comedy to date. I mean, it's an outrage. It's an outrage. So for everyone looking forward to Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin season 2, unfortunately, it just probably will never happen. Thanks to the writer's strike, which we hear could be resolved any day now. I don't know. I keep seeing news articles maybe that like the CEOs and the Bob Igers and the Netflixes are like, hey, let's figure this out because I'm done. We're losing too much money. Let's figure it out. So we'll see, man. I don't think we'll ever see Pitch Perfect Bumper in Berlin season 2, but, hopefully the strike ends soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to episode 109 of the What Are We Doing podcast. My name is Levi McCurdy, and this is another week, another doozy, dude. Thank you guys for listening again. I mean, it's crazy how the time flies by. We pretty much had nothing planned for this week up until 20 minutes ago, so hopefully this is the best episode of the year. A lot of things going on, okay? So, as you heard in the intro, Bumper in Berlin canceled. You know what's not canceled? Like every other TV show on the planet, okay? Next week, so after this weekend, so you're welcome. I'm prepping you. You've got this week to figure it out, or this weekend, basically, because starting Monday, starting today, theoretically, but starting Monday, the primetime shows hit, okay? Like, the shows for the fall season are starting, dude. And I don't know about your household, but my household has like 9 going on 10, maybe 11 in total shows that we have to watch this fall, starting now. Like today. Like right now, we're in the middle of it, okay? So, like right now, out now, American Horror Story. American Horror Story Delicate? Is that what it's called? Delicate? Emma is of course back. Emma, our problematic crush. Emma. Oh, Emma. She's of course, listen. Here's the thing. She may or may not have said some dirty, nasty things while on the set of this show. Did she say the things she said? Yes. She's our problematic crush of the week. Emma Roberts, listen, you gotta We got to nip that in the bud, and we got to kind of accept everyone when we're in the spotlight. You know what I mean? It's what we have to do. You can't say the things you said. Unfortunately, Emma Roberts, problematic crush of the week. But apparently, the new season of American Horror Story is kind of insane. The trailer looks insanely wild. We haven't dove into the show yet, but Kim Kardashian is like getting rave reviews. Apparently, Kim Kardashian is like doing a great job as an actress and a great job in the show. From the trailer, it would seem like it's like a celebrity, like sell your soul to Hollywood, Harvey Weinstein, you got to suck a dick if you want a Grammy kind of storyline. And then obviously like they replace like Harvey Weinstein with like the devil, and like, you know, sucking his dick is like sacrificing your firstborn child that you strive to get. So, you know, the trailer looks a little crazy wild. So we're probably going to jump in. Megs and I might jump in. The last few seasons of American Horror Story, I have no clue, not a thing. We have no knowledge of. The last one we attempted to watch was like the camp, whatever the camp season was. And we didn't understand what was going on. And we fell off after like the first few episodes. And it just wasn't, I don't know. Listen, it's what happens, right? Every show that has this many seasons has some bad ones in between and fall off. So we're going to give it a shot. I'll update you. Obviously, we're probably going to have like a mini like TV recap of the week spot in this episode, not to mention recap and record, which we'll get to here in a second, but like that whole separate podcast, we'll probably have segments here because not all these shows are for that podcast. You know, Carlos at 280 plus, he's like reviewing like Chi right now, I think, which I have no idea about. He reviews like Power and all the shows that he watches that like we don't necessarily need or it's appropriate for us to watch together. So, you know, we've got our own things going on. But speaking of, next up on the list is Love is Blind, and it's out now. Season 5, Netflix, first 4 episodes. Go. Finish listening to this podcast first, of course. Like, listen to the rest of this episode, then go hit the Netflix. Shout out to the people who are still on Netflix on someone else's account who haven't gotten kicked off yet. We're one of them. So we're going to use someone else's Netflix account to watch the first 4 episodes of Love is Blind Season 5. And then once we're done those 4 episodes, Carlos and I are immediately hitting record, and we're rocking and rolling with Season 2 of the Recap and Record podcast, okay? We don't have time. We don't have the patience to wait for the dragons to come back because that's not happening probably till like 2026. And so we're just going to we're going to roll with something new, okay? We're switching up genres. And I thought about it this morning. Like Season 1 of Recap and Record, fantasy, you know, HBO, House of the Dragons, you know, fantasy genre. This season, we're doing Love is Blind, okay? Season 5 recap show. Here we go. Reality TV, dating TV for Season 2 of Recap and Record. And because Love is Blind is like chunked and segmented, there's probably only going to be 3 recap and record episodes plus maybe a few more for like the bonus episodes and reunions or like, you know, whatever other bonus episodes they throw in for the season. And then we're probably might just roll right into another reality dating TV show for the podcast review. So, you know, and then who knows? Then maybe we'll tackle like a serious show or like a comedy show or something, or like something completely different in Season 3 of Recap and Record. So go watch Love is Blind right now. The first 4 episodes are out. Megs and I are probably going to tackle some tonight, dude. Next up. Okay. Now, after we're done this weekend, okay? After you're done digesting this podcast, after you're done digesting High Cheese, they're pretty much done for the season, so he's going to have more time. New podcast coming soon, probably. You didn't hear it from me. Now that Paul's done doing that, High Cheese is wrapping up. Monday starts prime time, okay? And we're kicking off Monday prime time first thing in the morning. Megs and I, of course, will watch it late at night, but The Price is Right is back. All new studio, all new season, dude. So we've got a whole new set, we've got a whole new studio, a whole new look for the new season of Price is Right, and that starts Monday. Now, is Drew Carey the worst thing to ever happen to the show? Yes. R.I.P., the legend, the GOAT, Bob Barker. Sad to see him go, but he's in a better place. Do we need a new host again? Yes. Is Drew Carey the worst? Yes. Are his jokes terrible? Yes. Do I laugh at anything he says? No. Does Megs? No. Does anyone? No. Except for Drew Carey is the only one who laughs at Drew Carey's jokes. Drew Carey hasn't been funny since like the first thing he ever did. Like he's not, unfortunately, Megs and I have consumed enough episodes of The Price is Right to basically definitively say that Drew Carey is not a good host. He's not funny. His jokes don't land. It's just not a good fit for him. I think we could get someone new for maybe next season. Like, let's figure out when his contract's up, NBC, and or where's it on CBS? I'm sorry. Let's figure out when his contract's up, and let's maybe not renew it, CBS, right? So we've got, listen, oh, and by the way, if they still have the game, because, you know, every season of The Price is Right, they remove and add new games. If they still have the game cliffhangers, I will confirm, but it has been confirmed for pretty much every season for the last 20. But I will confirm for the new season. If we're still playing cliffhangers, you can win every time. The people who lose at the game cliffhangers on The Price is Right, you should honestly, like, never mention the fact that you've played on The Price is Right. Like, it should be the most embarrassing fact of your life. Cliffhangers, you can win every single time. It's statistically proven. Me and Megs figured it out. 25, 35, 45. Every prize that you have to guess the price of on the game cliffhangers on The Price is Right is $25, $35, and $45, or within $1 to $5 between all of those prices, aka that means you win the game. Because you have like a 30 price spread, and the prices every single time, most of the time, like I think like 30 to 40% of the time, the prices of each of the product are actually 25, 35, 45. More recently, it's been like 26, 35, and like 48. But again, 25, 35, 45 on cliffhangers will win you whatever the prize is every time. I've seen them give away cars. I've seen them give away houses. I've seen them give away boats. I've seen them give away 19 iPhone 15s on the cliffhanger games, and people have lost every time because the first product is $25 and they're like, 60. And then the yodelay-hee-hoo guy goes all the way up and falls right the fuck off, because that's not how you play cliffhangers. 25, 35, 45, save a life. Go back and watch. Go onto the Paramount Plus app or whatever, however you can watch, or CBS app or whatever, or thepricesright.com. Go back and watch last season. They played cliffhangers like 30 times, and every time, 25, 35, 45. I'll put a clip in. I'll find a random clip. I don't know what episode it is, but whichever one I find, if you literally search YouTube, like, fuck, all right, here we go. We're going to make me do it live right now. Here we go. I'm doing it live. Cliffhangers, Price is Right. Here we go. Ready? Watch. First video, when was this? 10 years ago? Nah, let's do 4 months ago. Oh, that's Bob Barker. Okay, well, let's not do Bob. Let's do it's got to be the Drew Carey cliffhangers, right? Here's a Drew Carey cliffhanger. Boom. Ready? Here we go. Here we go.
Throwing your baby shower in your brand new dining room.
Look at this. Look at this. We're going to win. This girl's going to win a brand new dining room for... Let's just fast forward. Let's not even give them the time of day. Here we go. Oh, she's pregnant. Perfect. Oh, how adorable. Congratulations. Here's a water bottle. Ready? 25. 25. Oh, a juicer? 35. Steam cleaner deluxe? 45. Watch this. I'm about to win a brand new car. I'm about to win oh, look at that. Okay, let's see if she wins. Ready? 20. $25. How much was it? 24. Give me $1. Let's go. Juicer, 35. 35. You just lost $17, she says. What a joke. Oh, yodel guy, go. I think that might be it. 17? That's like 20. She might be way that. Yeah. Woo. Ding. There he goes. There he go. Oh. What'd she say? 35. What'd I say? The juicer was 30. So far, we're only off by 6. And guess what? Steam cleaner, 45. 45. Yeah, but she's already lost too much. That sucks. How much do we have? 25? Is that the range? Yeah. But if you would have said 25, 35, and 45, you would have only been off by $10 and you would have won. 25, 35, 45, cliffhangers, The Price is Right. I rest my case. Jut, hit the mallet on the table, case closed. Like, it's inevitable. Go back and watch any episode of The Price is Right in the last 5 to 10 years with Drew Carey, and the cliffhangers game is 25, 35, 45. Anyone who does not win that game, I feel so bad. I feel so bad for Natalie because she lost, because she didn't listen to the What Are We Doing podcast. And that is a lesson. Now, back to Monday, because not only do we have a brand new episode of The Price is Right premiering, but we have the return, the triumphant return of Kitchen Nightmares. I'm talking Gordon Ramsay. I'm talking In America. I'm talking Kitchen Nightmares. I'm talking people yelling in his face. I'm talking him throwing up gunk in the walk-in, grease in the trap, nasty. There's some grease in the trap. It's just grease in the trap. And then the owner of the restaurant's like, get out. You don't know what you're talking about. You're Gordon Ramsay. You don't know what you're doing. And then Gordon Ramsay's like, I'll leave right now. I'll leave this shithole right now. Kitchen Nightmares is back, babe. Monday, September 25th. Here we go. Buckle up. I'm ready. I'm so ready for Kitchen Nightmares. You know who else is ready for Kitchen Nightmares? Christina. She's going to need something to do while being stuck at home this fall. I think, we're so ready. Let's go. Kitchen Nightmares, babe. It's back. Gordon Ramsay. Okay, now, Tuesdays, I couldn't find anything happening on Tuesdays, the off day. Now, we're cheap and we don't actually have cable, so we use Hulu, so we're going to have to watch some of these shows the next day anyways. So Megs and I will use that as our makeup day. Then comes Wednesday, where we have season 45 of Survivor. Season 45. I mean, talk about dedication. Is this show ever going to end? Is it ever going to end? And yet people still watch it millions every season. That premieres Wednesday, September 27th. Megs and I are kind of on and off this show, man. I'm going to try to watch it this season just so I can recap it for you guys. But man, oh man, if Survivor hasn't been one of the shows that, like, man, my dad watched this show back in, like, season, like, the beginning seasons, man. like 4, 5, 6, 7. Like my guy, the Survivor recap of the whole thing. My guy who did the Survivor recap of the whole thing. Let me get a name right quick. I reached out to him. I mean, it's like, dude, my man Jordan Fringe. I've said this before. My man Jordan Fringe did a recap of every season of Survivor, dude. It's a 12-hour video. If you haven't done so already, go watch Jordan Fringe, his 12-hour Survivor recap video, and get ready for next Wednesday because season 45 of Survivor drops September 27th. And I mean, you know what I mean? Let's see what this season holds, man. They're always dropping new stuff, new challenges, new ways to play the game, new twists, new surprises. Survivor is one of the longest running shows, I think, in this world's history. Like every other country, and I know this because of Jordan's video, because he breaks the whole thing down, every other country on the planet has never been successful as the United States when it comes to Survivor. Like every other country ever, like Berlin, Beijing, Japan, China, Mexico, like every other country on the planet has tried to do a Survivor show, and they've maybe only made it from one season to maybe I think the most any other country has done has been like 14, maybe like 20 seasons. Nowhere close to 45. Okay, America loves a Survivor show. So Survivor comes out next week, season 45. Then we get a new show that Megs and I are kind of excited about. It's like a half game show, half comedy with David Spade. It's called Snake Oil. So for those of you who were born after the year 1996, snake oil is basically just little bottles of like olive oil that scammers would sell back in the day. And these scammers would say it was snake oil that they took from a snake, like a venomous python snake. They got the oil from. This oil will like cure you of all your diseases, all your health problems, like any problems you have, just take this snake oil and like you'll be cured. And so they would use that and like sell it to people as like this miracle drug. Obviously it's a scam. It's not real. Like there's no such thing, right? So the game pretty much consists of multiple contestants, and then each contestant will have a celebrity consultant that they can help, guide them through the game. And then so each contestant and each celebrity consultant must decide each round how much money to wager and whether or not product A or product B is the real and or fake product. So we'll get to see like infomercials and like entrepreneurs are like pitching these products. I'm assuming if it is something ridiculous, it'll be like their product, I'm going to guess. And then it'll just be fun because it's David Spade and there'll be quips along the way. So we'll see how that goes. Snake Oil comes out next week as well. And then the inevitable return. Of course, we can't go a fall TV season without having Kitchen Nightmares from Gordon Ramsay to a brand new season of Hell's Kitchen, babes. Thursday, September 28th, Hell's Kitchen premieres on Fox, and I can't wait. It's a double back-to-back fall season of Hell's Kitchen. Now, I liked what they did during the summertime when they had Wednesdays be Ramsey days. Every Wednesday during the summer, we got Ramsey's new show, Food Network Stars or whatever ripoff entrepreneur, Ramsey's Rising Stars or whatever the show was called, where he like invested in a food product or a food related business. We really liked that show. And then immediately after that, obviously we got MasterChef. And then when the Food Star show ended, there was still a back half of MasterChef to get through. So then they doubled up and gave us 2 episodes a week of MasterChef. So we still had 2 new Gordon Ramsay hours every Wednesday. I like that personally. So we'll see how this season of like, Monday Kitchen Nightmares, and then Thursday Hell's Kitchen. We'll see if that falls off, or I'm betting to guess it'll be a good break for us because of all the other shows that we have going on. So I'll report back on whether that's working or not for us in this household. Let me know what you guys think. I don't know. I kind of like the back-to-back Ramseys every Wednesday. But dude, Hell's Kitchen, red versus blue. Let's go. We got a little bit of a taste. If you watched MasterChef this season, congratulations to Grant. You deserved it. Meg's put all of her money on Kennedy. It was a close freaking race, but Grant brought it home, dude. So congratulations to him. If you watch MasterChef this season, dude, Hell's Kitchen coming back again for another season next week, September 28th. We can't wait. And then the next day, we get the show of the shows, the return of the Sharks, Shark Tank, baby. Friday, September 29th, all new season. Can't wait to see the Cubes back. Can't wait to see my coworker over at Cameo, Mr. Wonderful. He's back for this season. I'm sure Lori's back, and I think there's a guest lineup of celebrity investors. There's a few, I think there's photos. We'll put them on the screen. I didn't prep their names for the episode, but we'll have some celebrity guest entrepreneurs back for the new season of Shark Tank, and I can't wait. Megs and I love this show religiously. Carlos and I talked about this for recap and record. We weren't too sure. We might tackle it. For like season 3 or something like that, maybe next year. It would be rather interesting, I think, if especially with talking about some of the businesses. So Shark Tank, man, I mean, I love it. If I had a business that would be a fit for Shark Tank, like as soon as I get myself into the physical product realm of my business career, like right now, my businesses are kind of like service-based and digital-based. So it's not really something like the Sharks can invest in because like they're not going to just want like 5% of every wedding we do, which would be ridiculous, or like 10% of every website we sell. So like once we get into like a physical product, I'm wondering if I'm not going to just kill it on Shark Tank, because I think we'll have a killer product. We'll have all the numbers that they need, and we won't go until we know for a fact that we're going to get a deal, and we probably won't leave until we get one. So it'll be great. I'm actually working on a product right now. So basically I just need to get a test order of the product in. We need to get a label designed, a name taken care of, and we might have like a Kickstarter or something coming soon to get maybe this product off the ground. And hey, people go on Shark Tank all the freaking time, with Kickstarter products, and they get invested in all the time. So who knows? As soon as we get a physical product, you may or may not see me on Shark Tank, because I feel like I would do so good. I feel like I would do so good. I feel like I do so good on Shark Tank with the energy, with the product, with the determination, the passion. Oh, bro, I guarantee it. Let's go. I would love to not just obviously listen. Everyone knows you go on there for the fucking clout. You go on there to pretty much double, if not quadruple /10x the numbers that you do. If you make a deal, you're an instant millionaire. No matter what the deal is, you're an instant millionaire if you make a Shark Tank deal. Yes, that's one of the reasons you go on, people. But like also too, it's that network. How fucking sick would it be to have Mark Cubes on the pod? How sick would it be to have Mr. Wonderful at your call? You can just email mr@wonderful.com, and like you would know, like he'd respond. You know what I mean? Just having one of them as a partner is like what I think way bigger than the financial gain to me personally, which is exactly why I think I would bomb and do an amazing job on the show. Shark Tank next Friday, all new season. Let's go. Dun 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 dun. And of course, bless. I mean, if I was Maui, the gods have given me a boat. Ladies and gentlemen, Press Your Luck, starring Elizabeth Banks, is coming back in October. Just when you thought the writers and actors strike We're ruining everything you loved. I mean, listen, we're not getting any new shows or any new movies coming out for like another year, maybe a year and a half, depending on how quickly we can get deals done. But like, just when we thought the writers and actors strike sucked all of the energy out of our media, out of all of the TV, out of all of the late night, the reality TV / things that need written, the sitcoms, the Modern Families of the world. It's over. They're striking. They can't even talk about it. They can't even go on podcasts and talk about the movies that they were in a year ago because those are the rules of the actors and writers strike. But the gods have blessed us because this season was not only filmed before it was supposed to come out in June, but due to the beginning of the writer's strike, they decided to hold it and bless us with it now. We are getting Elizabeth Banks. Oh, isn't she gorgeous? I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see the skimpy little romper dresses they put her in every episode. I love Elizabeth Banks. She looks good. She acts good. She's a perfect host. We're obsessed with her. It's Elizabeth Banks, okay? And she's back at it again. I think October 10th. When is it? October 10th? I think it's like October 9th or October 10th. Elizabeth Banks, new season of Pressure Luck. And on top of that, it's Pressure Luck. No whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies, no whammies. Stop. No whammies, no whammies. Stop. You know what I mean? Like, get me on the show. If I'm not playing cliffhangers on The Price is Right, get me on the Press Your Luck show. I would die. I would die to meet Elizabeth Banks. Could you imagine? Oh, I'd die. I'd die instantly. And listen, that's kind of it for our household. We're not Bachelor fans. Okay. Oh, Jersey Shore's back. Family Vacation. Snooki. JWoww. Sammy. Woo! They made that happen, bro. That bag got dropped and Sammy's back. All new season. They just announced, what was it, yesterday? September 21st is now the official Jersey Day of New Jersey. I think the mayor, the governor, someone official over in New Jersey yesterday officially announced the official Jersey Day holiday on the boardwalk yesterday. So shout out to the cast and crew of the Jersey Shore Family Vacation. Check that out. I'm pretty sure it's all new this fall too on MTV. Sammy's back and she's rocking, babes. Ronnie, who knows what Ronnie's doing, dude? No one ever knows what Ronnie. Get Ronnie out of here, man. Sammy's back. You know what I mean? And that's all that matters. When we were watching, man, season 1, season 2 of Jersey Shore, Ron and Sammy drama, talk about some TV. Talk about top 5, top 10, top of the line, all-time TV. I mean, Ron and Sammy situation, season 1 through maybe season 4 even of the family drama of the Jersey Shore. Wow, I mean, that was some TV. We're not Bachelor people here. We don't really like The Bachelor. The Bachelor's doing like the golden thing with like the older guy and then like the normal season. I don't get it. The Bachelor, I mean, I think maybe we'll do like a bit. We might do a bit on it if it's that bad. If it's that bad, I might review The Bachelor this season. I don't know. Don't make me watch it, dude. They're going to make me watch it. All right. If Jeff puts something on the screen here when he's doing the clips and he thinks I should watch The Bachelor, not the regular season, because they're all just 20-something idiots, 30-something idiots on there. I'm talking like the new one, like the Golden Hour, 007, James Bond, I'm 58 years old, Bachelor. Like, I think, isn't that what they're doing this season? Like, let's do the old guy Bachelor season. If Jeff thinks I should do it, he'll put some on the screen and I'll have to watch the clip back to determine whether or not I now have subjected myself to watching The Bachelor. Disgusting. Ladies and gentlemen, this episode of the What Are We Doing podcast is brought to you by our friends at 17 Hats. All you have to do is go to wadpod.com/17 hats. That's WAWDPOD.com/17 hats. And you will be redirected and you will receive 50% off of your yearly subscription. That gets your monthly cost down. I think most of the WADPod listeners get their 17 Hats subscriptions for like what, $6 a month? If you run a small business or if you're a solo entrepreneur, 17 Hats is the product for you. If you're service-based, if you're a photographer, a DJ, wedding, Airbnb, anything, you name it. If clients are signing contracts, paying invoices, filling out documents or questionnaires, 17 Hats is for you because it handles it all. It runs my businesses, my clients' businesses, and it's something you need today. I once knew a guy who ran his business who didn't have 17 Hats, and he was spending all of his time on his phone, not with his family, and his wife literally divorced him. You know who it was? Jonas. Joe Jonas literally was signing all of his concert deals manually with printed out contracts and like Google Docs. And he didn't have a CRM like 17 Hats to run all of his money through, to run all of his deals, his calendar, his bookings, his questionnaires, to like hand out his riders, to fill out all of the venue information. If Joe Jonas would have been using 17 Hats, he probably would still be married to Sophie Turner. Sophie and Joe would probably still be married if it wasn't for 17 Hats. So Joe should have went. You should go. If you're having trouble with your business, if you can't seem to figure out how to get your time back because you're constantly responding to leads, typing out emails, responding to clients, manually printing off, invoices and contracts and in the mail and this and that and non-digital payments, just fix all that at wadpod.com/17 hats today. If you didn't hear about this, not sure how you couldn't, but earlier this week, the United States military was out just doing what they do, okay? Doing what they do on the East Coast and testing out like an AI-driven, computer-based, optionless driver, non-remote control because we have technology that's smart enough to fly a fighter jet, based fighter jet that cost about $100 million. They were testing it out. They were flying it. Something went wrong. Okay. A little thing flashed up on the screen. Something's wrong. Eject. So then the pilot of the fighter jet, the real life human that was inside of it, had to eject, right? Just to save his life, make sure nothing went wrong. The jet could have exploded. He could have died. So he ejects and then parachute opens up. And Lil Buddy safely lands, I think, in someone's house or something like that. I don't know. He lands to safety. The pilot's fine. The issue is what happens, he's not flying a regular jet. Usually when the jet malfunctions, the pilot ejects and then the jet crashes nearby because something was wrong with the jet and then the jet explodes. You know what I mean? This time, this is a smart jet. It's a smart aviation jet from the U.S. military with like missiles and shit on it that we use for military things to blow things up with, because that's what we need in this country is an AI-driven military jet that costs $100 million. So now the jet is aimlessly flying around the East Coast somewhere for about 5 to 6 hours the other day, and no one really knew where it was. No one. Not a single man, a single woman in the military in charge of this plane, on the team in charge of it, not a single person, not a single asset of the United States government thought, oh, let's add GPS to it. Maybe we could, does anyone have an AirTag? Could we toss in an iPhone? Like, find my friends. Let's see if maybe just in case something goes wrong, we don't lose the $80 million, $100 million jet. Let's maybe put in a contingency plan just in case so we don't lose it. Does anyone have a $30 AirTag for the $100 million jet? No? None to spare? They're all sold out at the Apple store? Great. Well, looks like we're going to do the test without GPS, folks. Like not a single nothing. Like if my Mazda gets stolen, I can pinpoint it down to the exact inch on this planet. Like the Mazda has GPS. It's not even a Tesla. And I know where the car is at any given time if someone if it goes rogue or someone tries to steal it or it gets taken somewhere. I know where the car is at all times, but when it comes to the $100 million aviation fighter jet that we use for military exercises, we don't know where it is. So for about 5 hours, the military shut down all planes. No more fighter jets could take off to avoid any crashes or catastrophes, because who knows? The AI jet is now in like zombie mode, they said. It's just kind of hovering around. It's just kind of flying in like what it thinks is like a safe pattern somewhere until maybe inevitably it runs out of fuel and then crashes to the ground. So that's what they're just waiting on. They grounded all planes, and we're waiting on now the zombie jet to just kind of run out of fuel and crash. And eventually the plane crashed. And where better for the plane that the military just lost, it cost $100 million to crash, than in the middle of South Carolina, in the middle of a field. And what you would expect is that the local news of that South Carolina town immediately showed up and interviewed the people that found the plane. And I mean, it's what you can, it's what you can expect from this type of situation.
In the bathroom taking a shave, and I heard a screeching, saw between a screech and a whistle. I said, what in the world is this? And I heard a boom. Then my whole house shook.
So basically, the fighter jet, okay, was near and around this man's house. This is Randolph White. Randolph White heard and saw the whole thing. He was in his bathroom shaving, and then all of a sudden,
I heard a screeching, saw between a screech and a whistle.
And that's what happened. So then he decided, you know what? We should probably call the police. We should probably call the police. And by the way, dude, it's such an American-based story, isn't it? It's such an American-based story. First of all, name one other country's government on this planet that would lose a $100 million fighter jet. You know what I mean? And then even after that, even if another government would happen to lose a fighter jet, not being able to locate it, and then after exhausting pretty much all of their military and army resources, the person and the first eyewitness on the scene that heard and saw the crash, and the person that we have to describe everything that just happened within the last hour, because the U.S. military has not a clue of what's going on. We have Randolph White.
Screeching, saw between a screech and a whistle.
You know, and it's just like, this is the news now. This is the news. These are the people that go viral on the news. And thank goodness we found the plane. Thank goodness we found the plane. The plane has been found and returned to the U.S. military. And good news for everybody involved, because we lost the plane, the United States government has now dedicated an extra $1.7 trillion to the exact program that the United States government is running to build these AI planes that we just lost. So we're going to get not only one, but an entire fleet of self-driving AI drone fighter jet planes that cost $100 million each to make and are optional to man. And we're going to spend $1.7 trillion on this program, the exact amount of money it would need to wipe out the entire student loan crisis. So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, folks, but, I know we opened this episode with bad news, and unfortunately, like the lost jet, that's kind of bad news for the people involved, but more bad news keeps coming out. And, with the celebrity divorces, which we'll get to in a minute, I mean, things are just not looking good in the world. Joe Exotic is single, and Joe Exotic, he's been a dude magnet, You know what I mean? Ever since he got to federal prison back in 2020, for his murder for hire scheme, which he's still convicted and sentenced to 22 years in prison. Can you believe that Joe Exotic is still in jail and has been sentenced to 22 years in prison? Can you just can we get this man out of jail? Can we get him out? Let's just keep a close eye on him, but let Joe Exotic out of jail, please. What did he do? Come on. What did Joe do? So, basically, Joe, you know what I mean? Joe's single. And, after a split from Dylan Passage in 2021, Joe held an online Bachelor King competition. You guys remember this, of course. Accepting applications to be his new boyfriend, and his current, now obviously ex, Seth, applied and became the lucky winner. But the two broke up and then got back together. Okay, good. And in between, Joe briefly dated fellow inmate John Graham, who cut off the relationship after he was released from prison. Okay. So that's the full breakdown then. So if you weren't following there for a second, Joe Exotic was dating Dylan Passage, okay? But then in 2021, they broke up. It wasn't working out between Joe and Dylan. And so after Dylan and Joe broke up in 2021, Joe held a Bachelor TV show style online reality Bachelor Tiger King, Bachelor King competition. And within the applicants of that show was then his new lucky boyfriend, Seth. Now, in the beginning of Seth and Joe's relationship, it got a little rocky. It was a little rocky, okay? Not the movie, but the relationship. And they kind of broke up. They decided this wasn't going to work, and it turns out they broke up. During that month apart, Joe Exotic then dated his cellmate, John Graham. John Graham then got out of prison. John Graham then broke up with Joe Exotic. Joe Exotic then seeked emotion and love and just caring because of how upset and broken he was from his then ex, Seth, the winner of the Bachelor King competition. So then they got back together. And it's been a high road ever since. It's been about a year and a half. It's been a minute. It's been a minute for Joe and Seth. And so, of course, we got the news, Joe Exotic's very public battle with prostate cancer, which has complicated matters within his relationship. So basically what had happened was just a few days ago, Joe Exotic had written a handwritten letter from his prison cell and sent it to TMZ and the What Are We Doing podcast. He wrote 2 copies, one to TMZ, one to us. We have a scan of the letter here. We don't have a scanner here at the podcast office, so our friends over at TMZ scanned in their copy. It's on the screen. You can see it there. I mean, none of this is fabricated whatsoever. The letter to TMZ, first of all, the fact that no one gives a shit about anything going on in Joe Exotic's life, whether Joe Exotic announces he's running for president, he's launching a Bachelor-style dating reality competition, whether he's got a new boyfriend, whether he's got an ex-boyfriend, whether he's got another new boyfriend, whether he's with his old boyfriend again, no one gives a shit. So he has to now pen handwritten letters via pencil, I think, because I don't think they'll give him a pen. Pencil and paper, and then he has to physically mail them to TMZ and other news networks just to get the latest tea, whatever is happening in Joe Exotic's life. He has to deliver via the mail from his jail cell, and it's one of the greatest things. It's one of the greatest things I've ever seen in my entire life. Please, ladies and gentlemen, rest assured, if anything ever goes wrong in my life and I end up in prison, I will continue to do whatever I need to do for this podcast to run it on a weekly basis. And if that means write it all down and send the transcript of the podcast to someone here on the outside, and they'll just reiterate and read my letters on this podcast for the audio feed, then so be it. So be it. The letter reads, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have mutually decided to split up. Already, the first sentence, already out the jail cell, the first sentence is, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have mutually decided to split up. As if poor Joe Exotic thinks that Seth Posey is out here going to, Oprah, TMZ, the New York Post, the Daily Wire, the Washington Post, every single Perez Hilton, every single meaningful online, the What Are We Doing podcast, meaningful online media company spreading rumors and lies about how they broke up. I love it. I love it. I love that Joe Exotic still thinks he's number one in the public eye of America. And if this letter doesn't prove that wholeheartedly, before the rumors start, Seth Posey and I have decided to mutually split up. The public pressure is more than he knows how to deal with, and I need someone more supportive that can help get me home. Well, that right there. Look, if I was in prison and I knew for a fact, and pretty much 99.9% of America, let alone the world, knew I was innocent and should not be in jail, and Megs, wasn't doing everything that she needed to do to get me out of jail on a daily basis, I might contemplate our relationship as well. I'm just saying, you know what I mean? So the public pressure got to Seth. It's unfortunate, but being the spouse of a celebrity, Megs will testify wholeheartedly, being the spouse of a celebrity is a very hard and high pressure job. Seth was there to answer the phone for our 2 years and helped me mentally fight cancer. So I have nothing to say about him that would be bad or hurt his character. Seth picked up the phone for their 2-year anniversary and helped Joe Exotic fight his prostate cancer. Therefore, Joe has concluded he will no longer be speaking ill will of Seth or saying anything bad about him. You know what I mean? He's a good guy. Seth's a good guy. The letter continues. He has a long, hard road ahead of him in life to get on board with the fact that the world does not owe him. He will learn that he owes the world. Honesty, respect, and giving back is God's plan to succeed at anything. If that isn't the truest state, if you don't go to the tattoo parlor right now and get that quote, Joe Exotic quote, tattooed on your body somewhere, I'll read it again. He has a long, hard road ahead of him in life to get on board with the fact that the world does not owe him. He will learn that he owes the world. Honesty, respect, and giving back is God's plan to succeed at anything. Send that. Clip that. Send it to someone you know, dude. You can send it to someone. Send it to someone if the shoe fits. Send it to someone you know, because they've got a long road ahead of them to understand that the world doesn't owe you shit. His mother was amazing to me, and I wish him, his son, and his mom well on their journey. Someone older, much more mature, and supportive will be here, part of my life soon. That I am sure will come to light as everything else does. God bless Joe Exotic. The handwriting gets a little fuzzy at the end, but basically, Joe's already got someone more mature and someone more supportive lined up for the spot of, Tiger Princess. So, and then it's signed, love always, Joe Exotic. The poor man just needs any ounce of attention. So if you could please just give this video, give this podcast, give this clip, whatever you're watching, the short, the form, give it a like. And just, if you could, if you could donate to, I think you can go to joeexotic.com and donate any money you have, not to the people of Maui, but to the Joe Exotic, free Joe Exotic of Prison Fund and his 2024 campaign race and just everything that he needs to survive and to get Joe out of prison. There's no way Joe can stay in jail for another 22 years. So every view, every like, every click, every ounce, every penny, every dollar helps the Joe Exotic Fund. I mean, if we need to if you could just share this video, I mean, every eyeball to get Joe Exotic out of prison is the number one goal of America. We thought maybe in 2019 to 2020, Trump was going to give him a presidential pardon. He wrote a very convincing letter. Unfortunately, it did not go through to the right people. So we're still hoping and we're still praying that Joe Exotic gets out of prison sooner rather than later, based on, his love life and this kind letter that he wrote, keeping us updated on what's going on. So there's Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner things getting nasty, dude. And these celebrity divorces. I mean, every celebrity and their brother's getting a divorce. Like I saw 16 different celebrity divorce headlines in the last 2 weeks. So who knows what's going on in that realm of the world. I guess people are just kind of sick of each other. And I mean, listen, I don't blame her. Okay. Sophie Turner, you can do better than Joe Jonas. Okay. Let's be honest. And apparently, according to TMZ, Sophie Turner found out about Joe Jonas filing a divorce via social media. Okay, I mean, listen, well, does Joe Jonas ever break up with anyone face to face, like an adult man? Can Joe Jonas please, in his next relationship, please, and whatever the next relationship is for Joe Jonas, just promise me, Joe, promise me it won't be a text message or an email or a social media campaign. Just break up with the next girl face to face. Just take her out to coffee, say, hey, it's me, not you, and just let her go face to face and let us find out that way. You know what I mean? The fact that every single one of Joe Jonas' exes have to be broken up with via digitally is getting a little ridiculous. And I mean, things are getting juicier by the minute because, of course, as soon as Miss Taylor found out that Miss Sophie found out via social, they've been hitting the town. Not once now, but twice. And dare I say, both Sophie Turner, that's her name, both Sophie and Taylor Swift looking mighty fine, okay? They're looking real good together. And for a fact, every single minute that they have spent together out on the town in the middle of New York City has been spent on making fun of, laughing at, and being pissed off at Joe Jonas and probably the rest of the Jonas Brothers, because I can only imagine the type of gossip, the type of news, the type of information that Taylor Swift and now Sophie Turner have on Joe Jonas and the rest of his family is probably worth millions to the press. The amount of information that they have on that entire boy band family is probably worth its weight in gold. So, I mean, things aren't looking good for Joe in the grand scheme of things. I'm thinking Sophie's probably going to win it all. She's probably going to walk away with the golden trophy on this one. So, the entire time her and Taylor were together, it was just snickering and just the greatest, oh my God, he did that. Oh my God, he did this. Oh my God, he did that. Oh my God, he did this. Oh my God, can you believe it? He did that too. Ew, dude, stop. That's exactly how the entire weekend with Taylor Swift and Sophie went just the other day amid the Joe Jonas divorce. And so now, of course, dude, the kids are involved. The kids are always involved. It's always a sad, sad day when the kids are involved. When the kids get involved, it's things get tricky. He wants one thing, she wants another. He's on tour, she's filming a movie. He's on tour, she's filming a TV show. The nanny should just probably get the kids at this point. but it never goes according to plan. TMZ has dropped a new report claiming that Sophie Turner has filed legal docs in federal court claiming that Joe Jonas is illegally keeping their children in New York City and preventing them from returning to England. The outlet claims that Sophie wants the court order demanding that Joe produce the passports and return the kids to her, and that in April of 2023, the couple made England their permanent home. Sophie also claims in the docs per TMZ that she and Joe plan to raise their children in the United Kingdom and previously discussed them attending school there. Regarding the kids currently being in the United States, TMZ claims Sophie says that she, with some hesitation, agreed they could stay with Joe during the Jonas Brothers' U.S. tour since she was filming a very intense movie. But that in September, the plan was for her to collect the children and return home to England. As of now, neither Joe nor Sophie have committed to this report. They previously released a joint statement together saying in part, after 4 wonderful years of marriage, we have mutually decided to, I don't see why they use these big ass words. We have decided to end our marriage. There are many speculative narratives as to why, but truly this is a united decision, and we sincerely hope that everyone can respect our wishes for privacy for us and our children. And, so Sophie's just out and about hitting the town with Taylor Swift. And so here's the reality. Even if Joe and Sophie made a deal when they were together, that they'd move to England, that deal is not binding on the divorce judge. So the judge's North Star is what's in the best interest of the two kids, deal or no deal. Weeks ago, Joe filed for divorce from Sophie in Dade County, claiming their 4-year marriage was irrevocably broken and asking for joint custody of their 2 young daughters. I mean, talk about a messy situation. Okay. So you know what I mean? It's getting crazy. It's getting kind of crazy. And so to end this podcast, ladies and gentlemen, we have one more story, one more groundbreaking news article, and one last headline that you won't believe when you hear it, when you see it, when I'm done reading it, when everything is wrapped together into one. You won't even understand what happened, because as soon as I read it, as soon as I discovered that this was real, I mean, this is live, this is developing. We're still developing this story. Yeah, we're still developing the story. We're not even entirely sure how it ends, because it's actually happening right now. Like, this is what I'm talking, the What Are We Doing podcast brings you the latest and greatest and the news, like as it's unfolding. Like, sometimes we're late, sometimes we're early, sometimes we're live. And this is one of those moments. Ladies and gentlemen, upon returning to his home this morning, Shawn Mendes' groceries took a tumble out of his car, and there was nothing holding them back. Okay. And so Shawn Mendes has faced a produce catastrophe this morning while unloading groceries at his home because his food took a tumble right out of his trunk. He finished up his grocery run Thursday, but experienced a mishap in his driveway when he went around back to grab the goods out of his Range Rover. Unlucky for him, the items came pouring out of the trunk when the bag, tipping over entirely, spilled his groceries all over the driveway. Shawn, who's still rocking his beard, great, glad he didn't shave it. His girlfriend probably really appreciates him. Shawn, who's still rocking his beard, tried his best to catch the falling grub, but to no avail. It all went down as the driveway's gate closed on him. With arguably the perfect comedic timing, Shawn eventually came around to the front of his Range Rover, picking up the rogue potatoes before heading back inside to salvage the food that he just bought from the grocery store. Thank goodness and thank God only a few things were damaged in this event, and Shawn Mendes, unfortunately, I think is going to recover. I'm not sure. I think there might be an Indiegogo set up, or like a GoFundMe to help pay for the groceries that Shawn lost when this did happen, falling out of his Range Rover as he got home from the grocery store. So You know what I mean? That'll pretty much do it, ladies and gentlemen, for this episode of the What Are We Doing podcast. Thank you for rocking with me for 109 weeks. My name's Levi McCurdy. If you haven't done so already, please hit that big, beautiful red subscribe button down below on this YouTube channel. Follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, anywhere you can listen and watch. We are there. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Snapchat. Every social media platform, you'll find us. Click the links down below to support our friends 17 Hats and repurpose.io. You can find them there every single week. Clicking those links helps us out, and buying their services helps us out even more. It lets them know that we're a little bit serious about the products we promote here on this podcast. My name's Levi McCurdy. Go to wadpod.com/YouTube for everything you need, from clips to shorts to comedy to this channel to podcasts to interviews, to watch and see and listen to everything for the What Are We Doing podcast. wadpod.com/links. That's WAWDPOD.com/LANKS for everything else you need podcast related. This has been episode 109. I'll see you next week for 110. Season 2 of the Recap and Record podcast is coming very soon. We're literally recording it, I think, within the next 72 hours. Watch out for Season 2, Episode 1 of Recap and Record, featuring Los and I, guests of the 280 Plus podcast, hosts of the 280 Plus podcast. Jesus. Check it out there. It'll be linked down below if it's out now, and as soon as it's out, it'll be linked for you guys. Peace out, everybody. We'll see you next week.
This is the What Are We Doing podcast.